Chevrolet C.K. 4th generation, GMT 400, 1988 to 2002. Planning for the GMT 400 began in the early 1980s. After design freeze, production development began in early 1984 and the trucks were introduced in April 1987 as 1988 models, known as the GMT 400 platform. For this generation, all trim lines of the GMC full-size truck were known as the GMC Sierra. There were 8 different versions of the CK line for 1988, fleet-side single cab, fleet-side extended cab, fleet-side crew cab, and step-side single cab models, each in either 2WD, C, or 4WD, K, drive lines. This extended cab was the first to be offered on a GM pickup. Another significant change was the addition of independent front suspension to all models. 3 trim levels were available: Cheyenne, Scottsdale, and Silverado. Engines were a 160 horsepower, 119 kilowatts 4.3 liters V6, a 175 horsepower, 130 kilowatts 5.0 liters V8, a 210 horsepower, 157 kilowatts 5.7 liters V8, a 160 horsepower, 119 kilowatts 6.2 liters diesel V8 and a 185 horsepower, 137 kilowatts 6.5 liters turbo diesel V8. A 230 horsepower, 172 kilowatts 7.4 liters V8 was available in the 3/4 ton and 1 ton trucks. Most of the powertrain was a carryover from the 1987 RV with fuel injection. To enhance durability, the trucks featured extensive use of galvanized steel for corrosion resistance and a fully welded frame with a boxed front section for strength and rigidity. 71. During the development of the GMT 400 platform, GM designers based their prototypes on the compact GMT 325S series, S10 and S15/Sonoma. Upon the official release, the GMT 400 was the first GM vehicles to use an electronic speedometer in a serpentine accessory drive. Some consider the GMT 400 as a scaled-up version of the S10/Sonoma with rounded-off contours, later incorporated into the second-generation S series. In 1989, a fleet-side sport package was available with matching body color bumpers and grille, chrome wheels, and fog lights. The sport packaged vehicles came in only 3 colors. Black was the exclusive color for the 454 SS, red was reserved for the 2-wheel drive Silverado Sport, and white was reserved for the 4-wheel drive Silverado Sport. The sport models were only made from 1989 until 1992. This style is mostly a trim package designated by a code in the van. This code can be verified with the local GM dealer, as there are no websites any longer to specify the proper designation code in the van number. Since this was mostly only a trim package, this is one of the most cloned truck styles GM has ever produced. A Z71 off-road package was also available with skid plates and Bilstein shocks. The work truck, W/T, was introduced in 1988, which featured a single cab long bed with Cheyenne trim and a new grille with black bumpers. Also in 1988, the GMC 3500 IFA with a fuel-injected version of the 7.4 liters V8 became available. The engine produced 230 horsepower, 172 kilowatts, and 385 pounds-feet, 522 Nm. In 1991, the 4L80 automatic transmission was added for 3/4 and 1 ton trucks. In 1992, the 4-speed manual transmission was dropped and the step-side trucks were available with extended cabs. The 6.5-liter diesel V8 was also made available with a turbocharger. 1995 models received a new front fascia, federally mandated center high-mount stop lamp, many new exterior colors including a new 2-tone option on the rocker panels, and new tire and wheel combinations. In 1993, the 700R4/4L60 transmission was revised with electronic controls, becoming the 4L60E. Exterior changes this year included a special 2-tone paint option, new gloss black folding exterior mirrors, and the door handles were changed from a smooth gloss black finish to a textured, satin finish. All 1995 models received a new interior that included a new steering wheels, with the 1500s containing a driver's side airbag, a new dashboard containing a more centrally mounted radio, dial-operated VEC system, and an improved gauge cluster. New front door panels and new seats were also included. On the outside, 1995 Model C/Ks and Sierras received new exterior mirrors. For 1996, a passenger side-mounted third door became optional on extended cab models. A new range of engines was included. The Vortec series of engines brought increases in power for gasoline V6 and V8 small block engines. The 6.2 diesel V8 was dropped. K1500 models received a passenger side airbag for 1997 in order to comply with new federal regulations for light trucks. 2500 and 3500 models were exempt. This required a slight dashboard redesign to incorporate these airbags. On models where passenger airbags weren't included, the space was occupied by a storage compartment. Also, 1997 was to be the last year the CK Silverado would display Chevrolet on the tailgate, although this continued into 1998 on Cheyenne models. 1998 models received a new steering wheel with advanced driver airbag, GM's pass-lock anti-theft system, and higher trim models featured a new Chevrolet Silverado badge on the tailgate. Deluxe two-tone paint was discontinued, but conventional two-tone continued as an option. 1999 meant minor trim and badge updates as GM readied the end of the GMT-4 platform. There was some overlap in 1999 to 2002 model years. In response to continued fleet sales, the GMT 400 trucks were produced as the Sierra Classic, Silverado Classic through 1999 and the CK and Sierra 2500-3500 crew cabin chassis cabs were produced through 2000. The big C3500 HD chassis cab was the last of the GMT 400s and ended production after the 2002 model year. A Brazilian version of the GMT 400 was produced in Brazil powered with a Chevrolet Inline 6, a 4.2-liter i6 MWM Sprint turbodiesel and a 4.0 liters i4 Namaxion diesel. The GMT 400 and G-Van were the last two platforms to utilize the traditional small block Chevrolet V8 in the 2002 model year. The GMT 800 platform was introduced in 1999 as the Silverado Sierra. For 1999, while the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 was all new, its predecessor, the CK 1500, was sold alongside the all-new model. Only available in Silverado trim with the 2 or 3 door extended cab configuration, the 1999 CK 1500 included more standard equipment over the 1998 models, such as air conditioning, premium cloth seating surfaces with power lumbar support for both front seats, and the 5.0 liters Vortec V8 gasoline engine as standard equipment with the option of the 5.7 liters Vortec V8 gasoline engine, both with a 4-speed automatic transmission, the manual transmission, gasoline V6 and diesel V8 engine options were discontinued for 1999 half-ton models. Those wanting a regular cab or less expensive, lesser-equipped trucks, especially those with a gasoline V6 engine or manual transmission, would now need to opt for the all-new 1999 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. 2001 Chevrolet Silverado, GMC 2500, ambulances in use with the Wellington Free Ambulance Service, New Zealand. Holden Australia imported the GMC CK beginning in 1996, exclusively for ambulance use. Unlike their Holden suburban siblings, they were not sold to the general public nor did they bear Holden badging, and they were not built as right-hand drive at the factory. J-Cab Ambulance in Tamworth purchased the GMCs and converted them to ambulances, and also handled the RHD conversion. A similar thing occurred earlier in New Zealand. In 1988, the National Ambulance Advisory Transport Board decided on the GMT 400 platform to replace the Bedford and International Harvester platforms formerly in use. From 1989, the C.K. was imported by General Motors New Zealand and they were converted to right-hand drive in New Zealand. They were imported exclusively for ambulance use. Although the Sierra name badge applies to the GMC in the United States, in New Zealand they were known as Chevrolet Sierra and were badged as Chevrolet. In neighbouring Australia the same models retain their original GMC badging. Sierras served as ambulances for the St. John Ambulance Service throughout the 1990s. When the C.K. was replaced by the first-generation Chevrolet Silverado, second-generation GMC Sierra, in 1998, subsequent imports were badged as the Chevrolet Silverado. The Silverado saw use as ambulances right through the 2000s.